Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. My name is Yadira. If you are new, welcome. I hope you'll decide to subscribe before the end. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. In today's video, I do have a bin that is quite heavy and big, filled with used up products that I will be reviewing today. Starting off at the top, I have two whitening strips. These are just the little empty sleeves that the actual strip comes in. So don't you worry, I'm not showing you any gross used whitening strips. These are by the brand Guru Nanda, and these drew my attention because they are targeted for sensitive teeth. So I wanted to give them a try. I did get these from Amazon. Supposedly they also carry them at Walmart, but I don't know if it's like online only because I've gone to my local Walmart and I have not seen this particular product. Anyways, these are very good and they do work. And what I like about these is that they will stay gripped on your teeth. They're not going to be slipping, sliding, or any of that situation. I have tried another brand that is quite popular through social media, specifically on Instagram. It is Luminous, or this is the brand right here. Honestly, these are better in my opinion, and they have like a mild coconut flavor-ish. Like you're not actually gonna eat them or anything, and it doesn't leave a residue that is heavy on your teeth to where you do taste coconut. They do have a coconut oil infused in the formula, so just kind of FYI. But anyways, I do recommend these more than the Lumino. The Lumino does work. I just find these to be a whole lot better and more effective, at least for my teeth. So the Guru Nanda Sensitive Whitening Strip. So next up is by Sol de Janeiro, and this is the beija flor. Beija, like beija. I wonder if beija, like this particular spelling, is the same thing as B-E-L-L-A in Spanish, which means like beauty. Could be, I don't know. But beija flor is the scent of this body wash. It is supposedly skin renewing, and this one I find that it sort of doesn't do anything for me. I feel like I'm not really cleaning, if that makes any sense. It doesn't create any suds, which if you do have one that does, typically they're a little bit more drying, so I guess that's a plus for this. The scent on this one is great, and it is one that I do smell throughout the day, not too heavily, but if I ever miss doing a perfume or anything like that, like this is fine. It is like a light floral sort of scent, which I can appreciate because it's not too strong and overpowering that kind of gives you a headache. So A for the scent. However, for the actual performance, I think there's better body washes out there. Now, Sol de Janeiro is a brand that is very popular, but I want to say their body sprays are like their leading sort of product. This one is the body wash, and I would say it's like the micro brow pencil by Morphe, and this one I had it in the color mocha. This particular color was kind of like a medium brown sort of coloring. This product was good. I like how it comes with a spoolie, which honestly I use the spoolie a lot. Doing my eyebrows with a pencil is kind of my favorite way to do it. I feel like it's like the easiest or fastest, or maybe like the one that I have more control with. So you might see I think either one or two more eyebrow pencils in this case. Now, I don't know if they still sell this one because I know a lot of products by Morphe were just kind of like clearing out. I don't know if products are still being produced under Morphe, but if it's no longer available, this was a good product. The next item is by Madison Reed. This is a Pro Boost hair treatment in just the shine color, so no actual depositing of color onto your hair. And this is just the small version, the little mini sample, and you actually will see a few of those in here. But this one, I actually did like it, and I do feel like it does give your hair some gloss, and it doesn't wash off so easily, which I found to be very nice. And this is actually the first product of its kind that I've tried, and I am quite surprised by it. So I will be looking into more hair shine treatments. So if you have any favorites, leave those down below. But this one, I would say it's a good product. Next up is a favorite product of mine. This is the Forever Foundation by Dior. This is their matte line. They do have another line that has a similar shaped bottle, it's not in a frosted glass bottle, and the cap is different. It's doing this little rectangular shape. Anyways, this one I had in the shade 2N, and this formula itself, I do like it. The 2N color is my winter color, like the one where I've been hibernating. I have not had any sun exposure, so this would be like my true color for the winter time. And I do like this formula, even though it is a matte formula, it's not drying. I am am more in the normal sort of skin with just leaning a little bit more towards oily rather than dry. This is a pump style foundation, so if that's important to you, no worries, this is not one of those that you dab on. You can do portion control with the pump. And this product, I honestly try to scrape everything or get every last bit of it because it is one of those higher end foundations. I want to say this one is like $46, $48, definitely in the upper 40s if not $50 range, but it is a favorite of mine. And if you are a similar skin type as me and you like full coverage foundations, this one is a good one that I would recommend you trying if you have not done so yet. Next product is a mini once more. This is by the brand BeautyBio, and this is what they call their daily. It is a vitamin C serum, and I actually do have the full size version of this that I am working through. If you don't know, BeautyBio kind of started off with their micro needling system, so it is best that you pair their products with their micro needling device, which I do have, but I don't really use them all the time together. This is a daily serum, and I don't micro needle in a day-to-day basis. So with that being said, happy to report that you can use this without necessarily owning a micro needling system. For me, I find that it is okay. It does have a tiny bit of brightening effect as you use it. It's more so glowy, and I was just reading it. It says with glowing antioxidants, and actually that is a great representation of what I'm actually trying to say. Typically, vitamin C serums will have a brightening effect, or a lot of the products, if you look into skincare, vitamin C does pair with the products that are targeting brightening, and this one does give you a subtle glow to your appearance. It's nothing drastic. It's a healthy daily serum that you can use. Now for me, I find that this one is a little bit drying, like as you wear this, if I don't follow up with a moisturizer after putting the serum. And just FYI, if you're doing skincare, thinnest to heaviest viscosity is how you should apply it. So this would go before your moisturizer. So definitely do follow up with a moisturizer if you're similar skin type as me. But this one, I find that it is okay. Again, I am working through the full size, which I'm almost done with that one, not quite, but for now this is just the mini version. This is the Lolavie Gloss Detangler, and actually a couple of weeks ago Ulta did have this a part of their 21 days of beauty, and I did go ahead and purchase it full size because I did like this product. I found that I was able to brush through my hair quite smoothly. Like I didn't have to do a few passes to make sure everything was detangled. Now I do have some other detangler products in the bin, which actually I should take them out just so that I can do like a little trio comparison, because I believe I have 2 more in here. The other 2 detangler sort of products that I have in here are the Purology Color Fanatic 21 Essential Benefits Multitasking Leave-In, and then the Perfect Blonde by Pravana. This one in particular I have purchased over and over, both in the small and in the full size. This one is the blonde version, which had a lilac sort of coloring to it. I have also tried their sky blue bottle. I want to say it is, I don't think it's targeted for brunettes. I think it's just called like the Perfect or something. I will put a picture of that here on the screen, but I have tried both of those, and honestly I feel like the purple is best. The only thing about this one is that I usually get it at Ulta, and I'm finding that it's harder to come by this particular brand in store. Sometimes these particular products I buy them in a pinch, so I would like to see a little bit better stock of this brand, but honestly I don't think a lot of people talk about it. I think it's more like a high salon professional sort of brand, not so much your everyday sort of market. Or honestly, I don't know, but if you have any feedback on this particular product, let me know. But just judging on my local Ulta, these are very hard to come by, and it's best to get it online if you're interested in trying it. But honestly, this one in particular was a good one that I was impressed, because I have tried others after this particular one and I just kind of kept going back to this one. But this one right here, I'm very happy to report that on my hair at least, it does work great. And I do have fine thin hair, just if you're wondering, or you probably see. But the other product that I had in the bin as well is the multitasking leave-in spray, and this actually does say that it does have a little bit more benefits rather than just being a leave-in conditioner like the other ones, or at least that's the primary target that I use these for anyways. And this one, it's okay. Again, I would have preferred one of these two over this one, and if I do get the opportunity to restock on my leave-in conditioners, which I am currently using another one that is none of these three, but after that one runs out, like I said, I did buy the full-size version of this one during the 21 days of beauty that I will be using following. But once I run out, I would probably lean on one of these two going forward. Here, the Olay age defining body wash, and this I have repurchased a few times before. The one that I like to use is the vitamin E version, or the purple one that Olay sells. I tried some other ones which you'll see here, and this one is a favorite of mine, but I was going through a phase where I was just breaking out in actual hives, and that is whenever I took to Amazon to look for a natural body wash. There is a brand called Amore Pacific that I do like their skincare from, but that particular brand used to be sold at Sephora and no longer is. However, it does have child companies under it, and one of those is a skincare company called Illiyoon. Illiyoon I found on Amazon, so I did purchase their ceramide top to toe wash, and this is apparently an 8 harsh ingredients free product. Although this was a favorite of mine and I would repurchase over and over almost constantly, I did go ahead and do this purchase, and I actually have tried this 3 times. I have not tried their ceramide cream, their body cream, but if you're looking for something that is gentle, I did really like this one. Again, I have purchased it 3 times and I would honestly do it again. I just think that it is maybe like maybe like $16 to $18 or something like that, to where buying one like at your local market or when you're doing groceries is probably more convenient. That's the only thing. Again, Amazon, if you do have Amazon Prime, then you'll get it in a few days, but that's the only drawback about this particular brand. I do think it's a really good one. It is quite gentle on the skin, does leave your skin quite soft afterwards as well, and maybe like a little bit of brightening. I don't know exactly all of the ingredients that are on here like at this very moment, but I didn't have any negative effects with this one. I would honestly give it another go. If you have sensitive skin and you're looking for a new body wash to kind of just test, try out Illiyoon if you're in the market for one. Oh, and I do want to say this is more of a cream sort of body wash, and the Illiyoon is more of a gel clear liquid. And then the last one that I have here to talk about, also being a body wash, is this mini Old Spice Swagger. This is one that I used during our trip to Europe, so that is why it is in here. And one that I do like that I kind of share with my husband sometimes is the Fiji version. I don't know if it's like Fiji apple or if it's just like Fiji. It is this one right here, but before trying out this, I found that that one did calm down any of the hives that I had. I don't know what is the main ingredient. Oh, it does have sodium sulfate, so maybe that could be it. And talking about that ingredient, here's another product, but before I get to that, this one is a good one. And you know, whenever you need minis before traveling, there's a limited selection in the travel section, so this is the one that we opted for. So it's a good one. It's targeted for men, but what we use. Right, so yes, talking about the sodium sulfite, I do have 2 that are like off-brand versions of the Clean and Clear Deep Action Exfoliating Cleansers, and these are good for, well, I use them actually in the shower as a morning wash. I have the brand Lacara and also Equate Beauty. This one's from Walmart, and this one I got at my local Aldi location. And this I liked because I don't know if it is sodium sulfate or what ingredient these items right here share, that they do calm my hives whenever I do have any. Now I did kind of narrow it down so I know what to stay away from, but during those moments I found that if I use these as body washes, they will calm my skin so quickly and the hives will go away basically by the end of the shower, which was impressive. So these particular products are sort of like a staple in my shower, just because I also use them as face washes like I said, and I do find that if you are breaking out or if you are breakout prone, this would keep your face clean. Now, like I said, these are the off-brand versions of the Clean and Clear ones, but honestly, this one, I think it's like $5 or so. This one at Walmart might be a little bit cheaper, but this one, I don't think it's too far off in price from the actual version if you did want to give that one a go. But yeah, just a cooling, refreshing sort of face wash. And I did want to note that both of these products do actually say the same thing. So they say this product is not manufactured or distributed by Johnson & Johnson Consumer Inc., which is the distributor of Clean and Clear Deep Action Exfoliating Scrub. I wonder if all off-brand products are supposed to have a disclaimer of that sort, but cool to see that both of these, being off-brand, do have the same claims. Alright, now sticking with the face wash sort of theme, I do have a few more, again, all small. The Balance by BeautyBio, and this one is a good one. It is a pH balancing cleanser that will literally clear up your skin if you are breaking out. One thing that I did notice with this product is while using it, my face was clear, shiny, radiant, beautiful, glowy, all the things. I do like the Balance and I would buy it again. I have 3 more cleansers and these are all minis. This is a special cleansing gel by Dermalogica. This one honestly did not work for me. I feel like I was putting on nothing in my face, and as soon as I did put it in my face, it kind of felt rubbery. So I don't know if everything just kind of fell off my hand before I even used it on my face, but I don't think that this one is a cleanser that I would be buying again. I want to say this does have good reviews though, but for me it didn't work out, and that's pretty much all I have to say about it. So this next one is by a brand that I hadn't heard before trying out this product. The brand is Hey Honey, and this is their Come Clean Propolis and Mineral Facial Scrub. And this one, actually, even though I did not physically taste this or get this in my mouth, as I was working it into my face, I kind of tasted it, which is so weird to say, but it does have like a salty sort of taste. If you ever do experience whatever I experience, I don't know if it's like maybe got in my eyes and I ended up tasting it that way. I have no idea, but it's not a unpleasant taste if you ever get to that stage. It is a very gentle exfoliating scrub on like a gel base, so it is very gentle. And this one, if it wasn't for the sample, I probably would have never heard or learned about this company. I actually don't even know what the full size of this product looks like, so I probably have walked by it and just bypassed it completely. It is okay. It's not something that I would probably repurchase, but happy that I was able to try it out. Another cleanser, and the final cleanser that I think I have in my little bin here, is one that I actually am happy that I was able to try, and this is by Peace Out Acne Gel Cleanser, and this kind of sort of works the same way on my skin as the pH balancing cleanser, in the sense where it kept my skin looking clear and beautiful while I was using this. And what I like about this one is that I was able to take off all of my makeup, and it's a one and done sort of cleanser. Even if you have to do it twice, this is all you need. And I particularly like that because I do like a full coverage sort of foundation and makeup, so this one is a good one and I think I would be buying in the future. All right, 2 more foundations, and this is the Tarte Foundcealer foundation. I have tried this before. I want to say I got a different shade, but this one I find that it's a good like everyday foundation if you do wear makeup every day. But for me, I feel like it separates a little bit too soon than I would like to, so it's just an okay foundation. Could just be down to, you know, your primer and also your setting powder that might contribute to that. It does have SPF, so that is a bonus, and I like how they do have a wide range of minis if you ever do need a foundation to travel with. The next one is the Bye Bye Foundation by IT Cosmetics. Whenever I do get these, I get them in the shade medium, and this one is the exact same thing. And I think I've tried light medium as well, or like light, one of those two. But I often stick with medium. It's kind of like those no-brainer ones. Like I can brighten it up with a brightening powder if it's too dark or what have you. And this one, it is an okay foundation for me as well. It does have SPF, and this one actually has higher SPF coverage than this one. So this one's just SPF of 20. This one is SPF of 50 plus. I don't know what the plus is, like how much more of it is it. And this one I find that it looks very healthy and youthful and almost like dewy on the skin once it is applied, but for me it does separate towards the end of the day, which I guess isn't bad. But this one used to be one of my go-tos whenever I did go into the office because it was both lightweight, buildable, but it kind of held me up for like the working day. Like if my makeup was separating by like an hour and a half, 2 hours before leaving, I was okay with that. If you're looking for something that's lightweight, this one's an okay one. A lot of people do really like this foundation, and for me it's just like I do like how you can build it up though. I might have to give it another try. Again, it's one of those foundations that is often on sale or there is some sort of discount that you can use on a cosmetic products, and this one is in the matte version, so not a terrible foundation. I just do like other foundations better than this one or even this one. And I was gonna say that I do have various foundations that I work through on like simultaneously, so it does take me a while to completely finish a foundation. So it is kind of cool that I do have a few foundations to talk about in this particular empties. Product that's not actually empty but I will be tossing is the Murad Insta Blur Perfecting Shield Primer. This actually does have SPF of 30, and I'm gonna toss it because one, it is okay, it's not the best, or at least I don't fully love it, and it used to be clear and now it is getting a color to it, so I'm not gonna see it through the end. But I know that a lot of people do really like this primer, and for me I think it's very expensive for what it is. Like you can get a different primer at about $30-40, and I want to say that this is close to like $70, something like that. So definitely if you're interested in trying Murad's primers, try to get them on sale because they are expensive. Now Murad is a skincare focused brand, so that might be something that sways you into getting their particular primers, but for me I can definitely live without it. And I think I'm starting to learn that while I am currently working through a primer at the moment, I don't think I'm a primer girly, so I guess take that into consideration as well. A product that I did like is by Tree Hut. This is one of their sugar scrubs, and this one was in vanilla. I guess it doesn't matter because you can't smell it and it's also empty. But Tree Hut is a brand that I do go to for body scrubs. I feel like it is not too expensive and it does the job quite nicely. Next up, I have a product that is kind of like a cult favorite of a lot of people, except for mine. These are the Mighty Patches by the brand Hero, I think. Yes, Hero Cosmetics. It's supposed to vanish your pimple, and if you ever do put it on top of a blemish or something, you'll see like the grossness of it. It's not like a pore strip, but I guess my acne is a little bit more profound than this, but I find that this did not work for me. I want to say I have tried one other brand and sort of similar, so I'm not a fan of these. I know some brands have cute shape, like little stars or smiley faces or something, but I can't get behind them for some reason. Unless there's a brand that you know works for you every single time that you put on a patch. Let me know what that is down below so that I can give it a try. Or maybe I need like an extra strength version. I don't know, but not for me. Next product that does work for me is the Neutrogena towelettes, and I have two different variations. I have the night calming one and then the original one. I usually buy the original one because I feel like that is plenty, and I want to say that it works a little bit better than the night calming one, but if they're ever out of stock, then this is the one that I will lean on, or I would just try a different brand. But this is my preferred makeup remover wipe brand. Now these in particular don't take off all of my makeup with one particular wipe. Like I do need to go in with a toner afterwards, so they're not like the best. They're available everywhere, and they also have like the little mini ones that you can use for travel, or they have the smaller packs of like 10 if you ever so need. This one is the regular size. This is 25 wipes. This is also 25 wipes. I think there's some that are 30 wipes. The Neutrogena cleansing tablets. This next product is actually not empty. This is a CVS teeth whitening pen that I would keep in my purse, but the only reason why I have it in here is because I broke it, so I can't really use it. I haven't been able to fix it to where it actually works again, but yeah, like I can't twist it anymore. It doesn't dispense the product, but this is a good pen even though it's just like a generic brand and not like a K.I.S.S.I.N.G sort of whitening pen. I do like it, and I think I should probably look into getting another one. Next up is the next brow product that I was talking about, it being somewhere inside of the bin. This is by Anastasia, and I have it in the shade medium brown. This is the shade that I typically go before, and I do like this product because it also has a spoolie that I use every single time before and after doing the actual application. Now this one, to be honest, most of the time that I do buy this product, I try to get it on sale just because I go through brow product the most, or at least like this kind of sort of situation, especially because brow pencils I find don't really hold a lot of product. So yeah, that's a little just cheat sheets on how I look at brow products when looking for a brow pencil. So with that being said, I have used the Anastasia before and I will likely purchase it once more. The next two products are both by Urban Decay. One is more full than the other, and that is because this one has dried out and it is kind of hard to use. This is in the shade Bourbon. This is a beautiful color. I guess since it does have some in there, I can show you. It is a medium to dark brown with some glitter specks in there. The glitter is more on the silver side, or it might be like a little rose gold sort of situation. I'm not quite sure, but it's a beautiful color nonetheless. And the next one is in the shade Demolition, and sort of similar story with this one. This one is not exactly a black, but it is dark enough to where it works sort of like a black if you don't want such a harsh color like black. It is a very, very dark brown color and it is matte. So I guess you can tell between the two sizes which one is my favorite, and that one is Demolition, but I do like Bourbon as well. It's just that it's time to buy new ones, and I do really like the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On line. They do have an extensive color range, so if you are looking for waterline pencils, or even if you use it as an upper eyelid sort of eyeliner, I usually just use them for my waterline, but they're also great as undershadow bases if you're ever looking to bring out a particular color, or if you're doing like a smoky eye sort of situation. I remember like many years back, almost like 10 years ago or so, or very close to 10 years, Urban Decay released this multi-pencil kit for Christmas, and I did see that they brought out their original Urban Decay palette. That is a palette that I did not own, but this year I have purchased so many eyeshadow palettes that I'm actually gonna skip that one. But it is a beautiful color story, and I'm saying all of that because I'm kind of hoping that Urban Decay is gonna release pencil set for the holidays. Now a lot of holiday kits are out, so if it doesn't happen, then wishful thinking. I think somewhat often they'll do either a 2-piece or a 3-piece travel size eyeliner pencil set, so that would be fine for me to give it a try. Most of the time it does have a brown and a black in there, like black being their perversion color that's very popular for them. But anyways, just kind of going down memory lane by looking at these. Next up are some mascaras, and these are all, well actually no, one of them is a full size. So the full size being the Benefit They're Real mascara. This one is one that does separate your lashes if that is something that you like, and it also has a ball tip to help you separate any of those corner lashes. This one is a good one to use if you do like separating, like if you do have a full volume and all you need is lengthening and separating. It's a good mascara, and this is the They're Real by Benefit. And the other three are minis. First up, I have the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes. This one I actually did really like, and the wand looks like this. It's kind of like a paddle sort of wand where it only has bristles on the two ends rather than all around like most of your mascaras would. Kind of like, what I like about that is that it helped you control how you disperse the product, and I'm someone who almost always gets mascara on my upper eyelid, and with this one I was able to control that more to where that doesn't happen every single time that I apply mascara. I did like this formula as well. It does hold a curl, and I guess like the name says, it's a push-up lash mascara. While it is good and I do like the way that it makes my lashes look, it does sort of flake on me, and that is the only con, and actually it's kind of like a big deal when you're talking about mascaras. The third one is by IT Cosmetics. It is their Lash Blowout Mascara, and I want to say that this mascara was born after a collaboration with Dry Bar. I'm not too sure, but I want to say it also looks like one of those roller brushes that you would use with a hairdryer. I'm just gonna put the picture right here because I believe that's how this mascara was born. This mascara is one that has a very wet formula, so I guess it's good if you don't like dry formulas to where you're not able to use the full tube because the product's dried up. This one does have a longer shelf life with it being a little bit of a wetter mascara. With that, you will get more darker lashes, and that will lead to having like a fuller set. The only thing with this one, at least in my particular lashes, is that it didn't give me the actual length that I would want it to, and I don't think it targets length. It might just be like fullness, but for me this one was an okay mascara, and it did sort of flake. The last mascara is by Huda Beauty, and this is the Legit Lashes, and I actually did like this mascara. This this one offers two different styles. So it has a volumizing and also a curl and lengthening side of the mascara. So it kind of gives you two different looks in one tube, which is a feature that I did like about this one. Now the one in the lengthening side, it does have fibers on there that I'm actually not a fan of. If that is something for you, then it'll give you the length and it'll work. But for me, like, because I can't really control the way that fibers disperse, I find that sometimes I'll have like beautiful lashes that are separated and just like one little twig that's like connecting at a horizontal angle. I don't know if that makes sense. It might just be the way that I apply makeup or my lashes in general, but I'm usually not a fan of this sort of formula, but it's not a terrible formula overall. Now the other side, the thing that I had with it was the brush, but if you can work with it, I like how it stays wet and that you can use it for a while. Like this one, it kind of looks a little bit like chunky and then it slims down towards the end of the wand, which is good if you are working on the edges. Usually as you go down your lash line, these smaller ones are towards the end, or at least for me in ways. But that is cool about this particular one. And what I noticed about this particular mascara is that it's a very matte black sort of mascara, not like glossy black. Not a terrible mascara, but I think it is a kind of expensive mascara for Sephora. The one plus for sure on this one is that you can achieve two different looks with one tube of mascara, or you can either mix it. And I want to say that the full size of this is around the $30 mark. I'm not quite sure, and I'm actually thinking that I should pick up the actual full size because the wand or the brush section might be a little bit better and easier to work with on the full size. So again, the Huda Beauty Legit Lashes Mascara. Next up is a little perfume mini. This is by the brand Guerlain, and this one is actually called Aqua Algoria. So this one is their pear one, which I want to say the full size is like a little bit of a pinky sort of liquid. And this one, I really did like it. It was very light, airy, and this one was fruity, but not like overpowering childish sort of fruity. It's very light, airy, but also feminine at the same time. Like the name suggests, pear is a note that is apparent on this one, but I quite like it. And it's actually a fragrance that I would consider buying in the full size. I don't know what their price range is like, but I'm finding out lately that any fragrances that have more fruits in there rather than woodsies are becoming my favorites. And this one was one, like I said, that might be a full size purchase at some point in time. Next is the MAC Prep and Prime Lip. This one I am no stranger to. I love the way that it fills in all your ridges, gives you a more even application to your lipstick. Now, ever since finishing this one, I haven't repurchased it, but it is one that I have repurchased various times before, and it is a great filler product. I do want to try the one by Lawless, but every time I go into Sephora, that one is sold out. But this one in particular by MAC is a very good product, and like I've said, I've purchased it so many times before. Next up is by Hourglass. This is their Vanish concealer line, and I got this one in the shade Cotton, and surprisingly for being a little mini, this actually lasts a long time. I find that this particular concealer formula is one that literally takes a little bit because it does provide a lot of coverage in that initial like dot that you can spread out with like your makeup sponge or even with your fingers if that is how you're applying your makeup. Like I said, I got in the shade Cotton, and shade wise I can get away with it more in the winter time than I can during the summer, so I would like to try some of their other colors as well. So next up I have powders, and these are both setting powders and I do have a finishing powder. The finishing powder being by Kat Von D. This is their Lock-It finishing powder. I had it in the shade Light and literally went through all of it. I like how it comes with the puff, even though I don't really use the puffs. And this one, now I'm seeing it has a little dots, so I wonder if they sell like a refill of this. This one gives you a slight luminosity to your makeup. It does extend the staying power just a tad bit. Now again, this is a finishing powder and not necessarily setting powder, so for what it's supposed to be, I think it's a good one. For what I want a particular powder to do, setting powders are best. But if you are looking into a finishing powder, or if you are more of a light makeup wearer that you don't really mind and not like a full coverage foundation girly like me, or if you just have beautiful skin, this is a good one for you to try. I think it's around the $30 mark, which is about fair for a powder like this. Next up is a powder by e.l.f. This is their HD powder, and I had it in the shade Sheer, which is just a white one. This powder I actually was not a fan of. I felt like it gave me like a white cast. Maybe the color tone didn't really blend well with my makeup. Like you could tell I was wearing powder over top, or I would concentrate it like in the center of my face. So not a fan, but I do like how it's priced, and I do think they do have some that are not necessarily white, so I could probably give it another try with a colored, possibly with like a vanilla-y sort of powder tone. Maybe I will get along with it a little bit better, but in this particular color, the white or the sheer, it does not work for me, and I would not repurchase this one in particular. The last powder is by the Crème Shop, and this particular powder colored tone is a little bit more of a nudie. Maybe you can see, I think I have just a tiny bit left that I can't really get out. You see how this one, the e.l.f. is so much wider than this one over here. So this one is in the shade Translucent. And actually for my setting powders, I prefer a loose formula, and the only thing with this one is the way the cap is configured is that if I do get powder around that area, it's kind of hard to retrieve unless I'm just doing like an all over sort of dusting. But I like to go in with a concentrated amount to go under my eyes to lock that in, and then whatever is left on the cap, I will use it all over. But even though that's kind of a con, the pro of that is that you can travel with this and it won't be spilling all over your makeup bag if that's something that's important for you, or if you do carry a loose setting powder in your everyday on the go sort of makeup kits. This one is not going to spill all over the place, so that's a plus with the cap design. The actual product itself is very good, and this one I got it from my local grocery store. I don't think I've ever seen it at Ulta. I'm not quite sure if I have seen it there. They might sell it on Amazon, I'm not sure. At least I have that way of getting this one through my actual grocery store. I do think they have different variations though, or they might be like limited editions, because I've seen some of their Crème Shop powders with different colored caps, so I don't know. But this one is a good one, and it's not so expensive for being a finishing powder. That is good quality, and it's actually also very finely milled, very soft to the touch. I don't know if talc is a product in this one. Yes, talc is the #1 product that it's actually not good for you, and there's a lot of powders that in recent times are being reformulated to exclude talc from their formula. So maybe if I do look into this one again, maybe they have updated their formula. I'm not quite sure. I also don't think that the Crème Shop is an American brand, so they might have different regulations over there, or I'm not quite sure, but this is a good powder even though it has talc. As for the e.l.f. one, I don't know if it's talc free because it actually doesn't even have anything in the back. So in that regard, I have no feedback on the e.l.f. one. This next product is actually not empty, but it breaks me out, even though it is the no breakout formula, or what are they calling it? The clear phase breakout free formula that does say it won't cause breakouts because it is oxybenzone free. I don't know if oxybenzone is one of those products that typically does cause breakouts. I don't know, but this one does break me out unfortunately, so I could not finish it. Now I did use quite a bit of product, but I think this is still like more than halfway filled, just to be honest. And this is by the brand Neutrogena, and it is an SPF 50 in case you are wondering. Good thing it wasn't like the big size, or maybe this is a big size. I do remember it being expensive for like a drugstore brand. I want to say maybe like $15-17-ish, something like that. But the formula in particular was easy to blend. It was one that did not leave a white cast, which is something that I did like. Also did like that it had a great SPF coverage of 50 and that it was water resistant, but unfortunately we just didn't get along. The next is a shampoo mini, and this is by Garnier Fructis. This is their Sleek and Shine shampoo line. And this one, again, when you're looking into your travel size, there's limited shampoos that are on this particular size at your local supermarket. So this one was one of the options, and I'm only saying that because I actually didn't like it. I felt like it took me a while to actually get the shampoo off my hair. Like I kept hearing that soapy sound, if you know what I mean, like whenever there's product in your hair, like over and over, like there was no suds or nothing coming out in the water, but I did like hear it and felt it in there. So I guess it's hard for me to wash this out, weird to say, but it did give me a shine. That's a plus, and being a mini, I didn't spend too much on it. The next is a shampoo by Dove, and this is their anti-itch relief shampoo, and this kind of goes hand in hand with like my body wash situation where I didn't really know what was causing my hives at the time, so I was trying to go like all hyperallergenic everything around the house, and that also included my shampoo. This one does say it's a hyperallergenic fragrance and that it is dermatology tested, so that was enough for me to buy this one, and I actually did like it. I feel that it didn't dry out my hair, and it actually did give some kind of moisture to my hair. It didn't look brittle or like it was dying or anything, and it also did give it a little bit of moisture. It's not targeted for moisture, but it does kind of go hand in hand with relieving dryness, which is like part of the itch relief sort of situation or aspect of this product. So it is one that I would consider purchasing again in the future. Now this is a shampoo, and I did get the conditioner as well, but I got it in the bigger size that I'm actually still working through, so I did like this one and I would try it again. Talking about finding products that will dry your scalp, this is the Bumble and Bumble post-workout dry mist, and this works kind of like a dry shampoo, except it is a spray nozzle as opposed to being in a compressed aerosol can like most dry shampoos are. This one actually does not give me a color cast the way some dry shampoos do, but the only thing with this is that whenever I wore it, my husband knew. He would ask me like, did you wash your hair today? Like, and I started catching on whenever he was asking me that I was using this product, and it doesn't have a bad smell. It does have like a seaside sort of salty smell, kind of like a beach smell, which isn't terrible compared to other body odor that you can have. I know, gross, but yeah, that was the only drawback of this particular product, which I honestly didn't notice it on myself, but I guess like as I walked around the room, my husband was not a fan of it. With that said, this does what it's supposed to do, and I like that about this because it's not a heavy formula to dispense into your hair the way a dry shampoo is. It's a little bit more forgiving with it being a wet formula. The only thing is, again, I don't have a dry scalp, but if you do, I would probably say to stay away from this because it will dry up your scalp. Obviously, if you have sweaty hair, it is supposed to soak that up so that you don't have that. So if you are very dry, I would probably stay away from this. Again, I'm not someone who is, but if I did use this a lot or very frequently, I had to kind of measure myself because it would dry out my scalp. But with my scalp naturally not being dry, it would recuperate quite rapidly, but just kind of FYI on that one because it does this job quite nicely in my opinion. Next up is the LMS Dynamic Resurfacing Pads, and these are like little thin cotton rounds that are soaked in product. I actually just treated it like toner, so after my makeup removing session with either one of these or with an actual wash, I would take one of these pads and would just run it through all around, also the neck area and like the ears, so like all of this immediate area, and that's how I would use this product. I don't think I benefited from the resurfacing claim. I probably don't have enough texture in my skin to be able to see if it works from that perspective, but if you're using it sort of like a toner, it works. It removes things, and it is a refreshing pad to use. Now the only thing is that the very bottom pads, as the product goes down, the bottom ones change color. They kind of get like a goldeny brown sort of tinge to them, so if you work through this product quite rapidly, yours probably would not be like that, but I guess I didn't. Now this particular container does have 60 pads, so if you do work through it faster, you probably won't experience that. Other than that, for me, they're okay pads. If you do have an experience that you would like to share, please do so. And not just this product, from any product that I've mentioned. I do have a few more though. And on that note, if you're still with me and you are not yet subscribed, please do consider doing so. This next product I love, and it has become my favorite deodorant that I like to use. This one in particular is in the can version that you do spray. This is by the brand Degree, and it is a part of their Motion Sense line, which I think is more like for active sort of people. I am not active at all, like not to that particular level. It does say it is a 72-hour like cold protection. And wow, I do shower every day, and probably works if I would have tested it for 3 days without showering. But for the one day, this is plenty for me. I don't really have to reapply, and I really do like that because I've tried many different deodorants and they don't really do the job quite like this one. So this is a favorite, particularly in the spray version. So I'm finding out that the last products that I'm going to share are actually favorites, and that is starting with this little mini. This one is one that I would actually keep in my purse, and I use it as a hand cream, but this is actually a face and neck cream by Thomas Roth. This is their water drenched cream, and I think a few weeks back whenever Ulta did their 21 days beauty, this one might have been featured, but I didn't get it. However, the formula on this one is lightweight but still sinks in quite nicely. I can assume that if you are more dry in your face, this might not be too hydrating because it is a light formula. But if you are more like a normal to oily, this would be a good one to try if you're looking to splurge into a moisturizer. The next product is by Ouai, and this is their hair oil. I do have it in a mini sample version, and I have another one that I'm actually working through. This hair oil I actually do like. I feel like it does tame down the frizz, and it does give you a nice shine to your hair. So quite nice product to try. I know Ouai is kind of popular, and this was actually the very first Ouai product that I've tried, I think. Actually, no. I know I haven't tried their shampoos or conditioners that I do know are popular, but this one I do like, and it has a small smell. It's nothing too overpowering, and it is very soft. Like, I have some residue of it right here in the cap, and it is quite soft to the touch. So I do like this product. Again, the hair oil by Ouai. So at the end of the bin, just 3 more items, actually 2 because 2 are the same. So let's start off with Shiseido Benefiance Wrinkle Smoothing Cream, and this is just a regular version. They do have one with SPF, but this one is the one without SPF, and this is gentle enough to use at morning and at night, so it doesn't have any like retinol ingredients that will activate with the sun. So that is good to know. And this is my second tub. The very first tub that I did use was one with SPF, and this is one without. And I do like this cream, and I feel like I really do look younger when I use this. So a few weeks ago, whenever Ulta did have their 21 days of beauty, this was featured like early on in the start of the sale, and I did get 2 of them. The one that came out in the sale was one with SPF, and this one again is one without. And what I like about the one with SPF is that because it has SPF, it works great with my skin and it does not break me out. And the reason why I did get 2, if you're gonna get it at regular price, again, not like the 21 days of beauty the way that I did, it is like $79 or something like that. So something to think about if you are willing to try this one at a full price. It's a very good one, I think, and I wish they had this in a bigger formula like for your body, because I did use this for my body as well, especially like coming right out of the shower where you still have a little bit of like water in your body. A little bit of this will run just nicely for your body, and I did like it that way as well. So I actually probably should look into their website to see if they do have a body formula or like a bigger size that you can use for your body that's not so expensive. I can just imagine it being close to like La Mer prices at that point in time because it's a bigger quantity. And this jar in particular is a glass jar, so if you're thinking of traveling, just keep that in mind. I think they do make a plastic travel size version, but don't quote me on that. But again, the Shiseido Benefiance Wrinkle Smoothing Cream, a favorite of mine. So the last 2 items are actually the same product, just a different size version. So the full size and the travel size. This is by the brand Pravana, and this is a purple toning mask for like highlight maintenance or blonde. I feel like this is the best that I've tried, and I obviously have brunette hair, but whenever I do have my highlights and I want to maintain that, this keeps the brassiness out of my hair. Or even now where I do kind of have some at the bottom, if I do want to make that lighter and bring up that highlight sort of look again, that's an easy fix with just 5 minutes of using this, and I can revive that hair color. So it is a favorite. I've never had my hair turn green or turn purple or anything like that. Now I do try to stick to the 5-minute time range, but if anything, at the most I've used it for maybe 10 minutes at the most, and that's probably why I haven't had any terrible discoloration like any green or purple to my highlights. And I do like the way that it keeps my hair feeling soft afterwards. So again, it is a mask as well. And this, I feel like even though it's purple, it's easy to wash off, like if you're using it in your shower floor or even in your towels, so it doesn't stain. I mean, unless you just let it sit there and you don't wash your towels right away, then probably, but I find that it's gentle enough to wash off if you are concerned with any staining to your immediate bath area or your sink. So that was a lot of product to go through, and I can just feel like it's gonna take me days to edit, but I'll try to knock it down to maybe like 30 minutes at the most, but we'll see how that goes. Again, if you're still with me and you're not a part of my channel, please do consider subscribing. And whether you are new or returning, I do want to thank you so very much for spending a lot of your day with me here today, and I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.